Interesting. And now we're here. Now we're here. I mean, we're already been live. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, and we're live over there too. Okay, awesome. So hey, look, this is a session that's been inspired by a lot of people that have been asking us, hey, like, how do you scale it as a business? You know, it's very difficult. How do I find people? I find myself doing a lot of work. Other people, they're like, hey, I want to do this as a business because. And when I say this, I mean, mostly it's property, right? People are wanting to get into property, but this is how do you scale any business? I mean, people are all the businesses that are associated with property, like project management and solicitors and brokers and accountants and bookkeeping and the management and the cleaning and the construction, just to name a few, right? So you got all of these different businesses, and people are asking, how do you do it as a business? It's so tough. I'm working in my business, but also there's another set of people that realize since quarantine, since lockdown, that maybe living just for the paycheck or only relying on a paycheck is probably not the most reliable thing to do when things totally out of the blue start to happen. So we're actually going to be talking about how to scale up your business. Now, I mean, this is such a vast subject. We could be here for days, and we've got training programs on this, online programs. We've got communities where we're always adding value. Want to do this. But the first thing I need, any of you who are watching this right now, if you watch it on the replay, put hashtag replay. But if you're live, start tagging some people. Let's do the world a favor and let's just give them the opportunity to see if they want to see this or not. I mean, they'll soon switch off. I mean, that's okay. But let's not deny them at least the opportunity to figure out, hey, do I want to see anything about scaling a business from people who have built several multi-million-pound companies, global, all over the world, selling in over 63 different countries, going multiple times from like one employee, either scratch, just one man band, myself, or taking it from just a few people, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, over 100 people company, systemizing it. And you know, here's the funniest bit. Oh my goodness, making so many mistakes, and so many mess ups. So tag some people. Trisha, get sharing this everywhere. Share this as well. Share it on your timeline. Let you see if your friends. Let's see if your Facebook friends, whether they're your real friends or they're not really your real friends, or whether you know them or you don't know them. I mean, come on, it doesn't really matter. Let's just share it out there and see what happens. Let me know. Let me know when it is done, because oh my goodness, by the end of tonight, we have a special treat for you. We have a special treat for you. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Real Life Group, and also start following the pages associated, you know, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, because if you want to be kept abreast of the latest information and technology that is achieving success and has been for a very long time, and will continue to do it no matter what the global circumstances or society throws, then stay tuned and let's be a part of this. But let me see some comments. Trisha, is something blocked here? Is something blocked? Are people actually commenting or they're not commenting?
No, yeah? Sean has commented, but
hello. Just hello.
Not tagging and sharing, I think.
There are tagging. There is tagging.
That's starting to happen. So come on, guys, what's going on? Wake up.
Yeah, start tagging, start getting some people on here. This is super important. And also fire in your questions. Fire in your questions right now. What is it what stage? I mean, I'm going to tell you the stages of business, and I'm going to tell you, like, and you might be able to identify where you are. So some questions might come later. But what is your first initial question? I mean, what's your question? I mean, the first question, if you don't think you have any questions, is, do I want a business? You know, am I to be a business owner or am I not to be a business owner? Do I want to be a business or am I already a business? Yeah, so start tagging.
Right now, like, are you thinking right now in how do I scale my business right now with what's going on? Because a lot of what I'm hearing right now is people saying, oh, when we are more certain about what's going to happen next, or when COVID starts to calm down, and all of these things that people are talking about, all I hear there is like their hesitation and procrastination. Like, where else in your business has that happened so far? Or have you just never started your business?
Where else in your life?
Yeah, because we're like, you might have been, oh, well, once COVID is out the way, I'll start my business. But before that, were you hesitating to start your business because of another reason? That's a really good thing to ask about yourself. Like I did a post the other day about results or reasons. Like, are you somebody that just goes and does whatever it takes to get the result? Or are you somebody that will find a reason as to why you don't have this yet, et cetera, et cetera? There's always a reason, like, there's always an excuse or blame or justification as to why you don't currently have it. And listen, we've talked about this on the last few lives now, really, but it's the language. Like, I'll be honest, I still, every single day, I have to catch myself when it's the language that we use, or the language that I use when I'm talking about something that I may be struggling with or something I'm trying to overcome. It's like that, trying, right? I either can or cannot do it. So, you know, do whatever it takes. But so the language you choose. So we're talking about how to scale your business, but are you constantly putting yourself in a place where scaling is just either non-significant for you, or you haven't even begun because of something else that is technically out of your control in your language? Right? Yeah.
So what is the questions you have about business? Because I'll tell you something that's going through some people's mind is they might not even feel like they have a question. Well, like I say, the first question is, you got to be asking yourself, do I want to be in business? Do I want to scale? What does even scale mean? Maybe that's your first question. Yeah, because it is an interesting topic for discussion. So please do ask away, Daniel, Byron, awesome tagging. Whoever else is on here, like, just, hey, listen, get the tagging, get people notified that such a piece of media is available to them. If they want to watch for 1 minute, 5 minutes, no minutes, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, but at the same time, I just want to give people the opportunity. And I want you to ask your questions right now, because if we work together, if we brainstorm, if we have this discussion, then what it's going to come down to is, yeah, what stage or, and I'm going to give you something absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm going to give you something totally awesome, totally amazing. And once you actually see this, you'll be able to say, yeah, where am I? Yeah, where am I? Where am I? That's what you're going to be doing. Where am I in my business? Where am I? Am I just a one person, shop? Or am I actually a leader of a business? Am I the facilitator of other people or other situations? So please do comment in here and like, where is it that you want to go? What are some people's goals? I want to comment some goals. Where do you want to be? But what is it that you want? Do you even want a business? If you don't want a business, I mean, I'm assuming if you're on here, you want a business, yeah? I mean, would that be a fair assumption? Would that be a fair assumption in saying that? Do you think?
Well, maybe they don't even see it as a business. Maybe they see it as like something they do to earn extra money that they'd like to scale to become a business. Because you could already be doing something. You've got to think, like, what's a business? Is it just that you are self-employed and you have kind of a job that you sustain yourself, but you want to make a business out of it? How is it not so much a job or not so dependent on you as an individual? Like, does your business still function if you are not there? Do you have other team members that are still progressing your business to get bigger results? And honestly, all this came up today about people's perception on selling. It's a big subject because it comes up a lot.
Why did that come up?
Maybe I was on a call with somebody today, and what I noticed was, like, even still, with the amount we've spoken about it before, I think we should do a separate post to do with this, because actually the perception that they are being sold to, or that you're going to some kind of pitch, is so much of a distraction that they're completely closed off to the opportunities that are in front of them.
The truth is, it's nothing to do with selling. It's to do with skepticism. It's to do with past either negative or even traumatic. It could be traumatic experience. Yeah. So like, the mind is a clean slate which experience is written on. Let's put it that way. And then sometimes when a certain subject or something is talked about, it triggers these negative or traumatic slates from the mind, which then activates like a protective belief system. So like, when you're saying, oh yeah, now it gets in the way, this is the biggest thing for business. I'll tell you, You know, scaling a business is about, I mean, yeah, there's delivery, right? There's delivery. But trust me, when you get the opportunity to deliver, let me ask all the business owners out there, let me ask all the people out there that have anything to do with delivering, when you get the opportunity to deliver, do you do that? Would you do that for your clients? Do you do that? And you might be an employee right now. Do you do that when you get the opportunity? I mean, I'm sure the answer is not yes for everybody, but like, if you're a business owner and now you're taking your livelihood into your hands, which means you've decided to build something, you've decided to put the time in, the effort, maybe even the money. Don't know what happened to Instagram now. Busted it up.
Yeah, but I think the perception is, it's just like what I experienced firsthand today, is the fact that it was the taking themselves out of the game because of a past experience, like you say, trauma or skepticism around it. It's because people don't understand what's selling in it. And if you want to scale your business, you must learn how to sell. Because whether you're selling a product or it's for relationships and partners, it's selling yourself. That doesn't mean that you are forcing something on someone, because that's not what selling is. If you're providing a standard and a service to somebody, whether that be a product or whether it's a property for a tenant or for a negotiation for an agent to source the property and to be able to agree a price that's win-win for you, them, the vendors, whether it's agreeing a relationship between you and your solicitor, whether it's agreeing your relationship between you and your broker, whether it's negotiating a win-win for you and your builder, it's all selling. It's all selling. Because it's about your ability to scale your business by having built these relationships. And if you're someone who goes, oi, do this for me because that's what I need it to be, don't try and sell to me. I mean, I'm not being, I wouldn't want to work with somebody that spoke to me like that. I want to create a win-win. You know, it's give and take. People.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Like, because I've said this for many years, and I've trained many salespeople to be super successful by being real, and that's where real life was born. Yeah, and that's a story for another time. But the truth be told, it's like selling is helping. That's what it is. And selling is finding what people want, yeah, and giving it to them. That's it. Yeah, and in this time especially, it's your number one asset. It's your number one skill. It's the number one skill of everything, because it's communication. Now you tell me where you don't have to communicate. You tell me where you can add value in some way, shape, or form without communicating, because people are going to say, oh yeah, you know, you don't have to communicate. But look at all the forms of communicating. Your website's communicating, your emails, your text messages, especially your speaking, especially your networking. It's all communicating.
But it's not here that we've got someone here that's saying, I'm self-employed and I'm having a baby soon. I want to try and promote my skills as freelance to allow me to manage my own hours. How do I approach companies to offer my skills?
Yeah, first of all, tell everybody what you do. Tell everybody what you see. These are principles that have always worked, and they always will work. I mean, look. You can go back as far as books.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Were written. You can go as far as when books were even like, oh wow, okay, this is going to be a book that's produced. Yeah, and it would say the same principles. I mean, techniques and things come about. But I tell you right now, it's easier than ever, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, I'm going to tell you why, then I'm going to tell you what it is that you can go do. So first of all, it's let's call it back in the day, yeah. Or if you didn't have hefty amounts of money to invest into advertising, all you really had, and I'm just referring to what I was doing as a builder here in construction when I first left school and I started work. I set my own business up when I was like 18, and I started then knocking on some doors. So I would have a job and I would go knock on doors. Yeah, and I'll just be like, hey, look, you know, I'm just doing the work down here. You can pop along any time and have a look at it. And if there is anything that you're thinking of having done, I'm happy to come around and have a conversation with you and give you a price so you can decide. That's how it started. That's just communication. That's, you know, call it marketing, call it selling, call it whatever it is that you want. I just wanted to add value to people. I was a young kid thinking, hey, look, I want to just give price work to people because I'm super quick. I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to be able to still make good money, because a job that takes someone a week, me and another lad or two, depending on how big the job is, could probably do it in 2-3 days if we put some hours in, so we earn more money in less time. That was the whole thing. Yeah, so that's how it happened. Then actually accelerate a little bit further down the line, when I was knocking on doors selling business, all types of construction products, driveways, windows, doors, conservatories, all of it. And then what happened was I actually realized, wow, rather than walking around for so many hours, I can actually pick up a phone. So then I started phoning people. That's when I got into that industry, and that's when I got into the software business. And that's when I really understood business, and I started to learn about it. Yeah, but still, you can only call so many people, and so many people that are relevant. So now, as part of real life sales training, we have a process called the real life cycle. And the first step of it is find people that are already looking for you. Yeah, and this is where the marketing comes in. So, Nikki, to answer your question here, what it is that you're going to need to do? Number one, tell everybody what you do.
And she's replied, and this is that's what I was
right.
Because she's saying she does legal and contract compliance, writing contracts, and offering legal advice.
Yeah,
joint venture and shareholder agreements.
Well, there you go. So, but here's what it is that you need to do. Also, is you're actually looking at a platform right now, which I just think is just a no-brainer. No matter what it is that you're doing to get yourself out there, especially have all your immediate friends, family, people who tag on to that line of I don't even know what to call it, relation or whatever, then everybody knows that that's what it is that you do. You don't have to wait to go to a dinner party now to tell 3 people what it is you do in the hope that they remember the day after. You can tell hundreds, if not thousands of people what it is you do and the value that they would get from working with you. I mean, I don't have any, but just go check my profile out. Go check out Mark Harvey Real Life. Go and check out Real Life Crew. We're constantly just wanting to share what's the value that you could get if you work with us. Yeah, information's everywhere, but what's the value? The value is the transformation. The value is you definitely get results if you keep showing up. The value is look how many people have built multi-million-pound property portfolios. Look how many people have improved their life. They're happier. Their relationships are better. Their life is better. Yeah. So what is it that people can get? A no-hassle legal contract, someone who's competent, someone who has X, Y, and Z.
I would say, like scaling your business, you have to be certain. The person with the most certainty usually wins, right? And it's because they know their vision, they know where they want to be. So therefore, they're very quick at like who I want to be working with. Are these going to add value, devalue my business? Like people that are certain. So it's similar, and it's again going back to the real life framework that we train and we teach on in property. Like, what is your outcome? So you've got to do the same for your business. If it's not in property, this works in all businesses. Like, what's the outcome for your business? What is the goal? And then when you've got the top goal, then you can start to work down on your milestones and then set actions to achieve to get you closer to then that outcome. It's just the same framework, different business. Because then it's like, for example, Nikki with what she's asking, because this is quite a cool thing, because it's not property related, it is just scaling your business. That's why we're doing this, because it's not just all property. Obviously, we have several businesses of different variety, and Mark's worked in a different sector, I've worked in a different sector, so we have experience for many areas. There's also many tribe members, so the real life tribe members that are out there really achieving some extremely awesome results in marketing businesses, online training, and like,
so just going back to what I was saying before, because this whole thing here about just telling people what it is that you do, like, it is a very easy and simple thing. But like, first of all, if you want to scale, you got to get plugged into who are the people that you add value to, because it's probably not everybody. I want to say probably not. Definitely not. I was just trying to, say it nicely. Yeah, so it's definitely not everybody.
Would you say that's the clear thing? It's like because if you don't know where you want to go, like, what is the outcome for the business? What's the goal?
Yeah, I know, but look, there's so many things that we could talk about scaling your business. But what I want people to realize is, like, look, what are the components first of all, so I can scale? First, you need to have the clientele. You need to have the clientele. Who are the people that are going to be benefiting from your services? Yeah, find people that are already looking for you. Doesn't that sound simple? Who would like to, what are you going to do? Go and look for people who are not looking for you and try and convince them that they should, be a client of yours? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's what a lot of people do, and then they're forcing it and they're like ramming it down people's throat, and then that's why the negative experience happens. Yeah, but at the end of the day, hey, look, I just want to find people who are already looking for someone like me, someone who wants the intensity in their life to be able to move forward, who wants the feedback, who's open to new ways of working, even if it sounds counterintuitive. Whoever's got, I want to find the people who do, they are going to do whatever it takes. They are going to own it. They're going to take responsibility. Yeah, they're not going to give me, excuses and tell me stories and all the rest of it. So look, I'm just looking for those people, because there's a lot of those people that want to wake up, break out the trance that the education system and society has, put them in. They want to break out the trance and they want to move that forward. So that's great. I'm looking for those people. So if you're one of those people, then reach out. If you want to find a local businesses, look, you got to show up online. I mean, number one, you got to show up online. You don't need no fancy website or Facebook page, TikTok, whatever it is that you want to do. Yeah, do all of that stuff. But the main thing is just get yourself out there. Start talking about your business. Start talking about your clients. Start talking about success story. And if you don't have a success story because you want to do it, here's the simple thing. Go get someone for free. Give them your service for free, maybe even $5, depending on your business and how much resource. But hey, look, you got to give that stuff away so you can get some results, because people want to invest in something where they give results. I remember when I first started, I give away for free.
Definitely LinkedIn. So
LinkedIn everywhere.
For what you do, but yeah, you've got to listen. You've got to show up. How often do you post online? How often do you post online telling people what you do, or simply just who you are? Because remember, anything in your business, like, people want to know you as the person as well. Yeah, you've got a service that you're going to offer and stuff, but like, who is it they're going to be doing business with? Who is it that they're trusting in? Who is it that they want to work with? If you're, like, in all fairness, but if you're a bit of an arsehole, people might not want to work with an arsehole. So
not necessarily. It depends. People might want to do that.
Yeah, but exactly, that's what I mean. So give people the opportunity to decide because honestly, it's just like, for example, I did an interview the other night, and I've spoke to so many new people just over the last week that are brand new, that I've never spoken to before, that have been created to actually wanting to work with me, with Mark, with Real Life, because they now know who I am, but they didn't before. And, we do a lot online, so it shows you how active you need to be, right? But you need to keep putting yourself out there, because this creates so many opportunities for you, for other people to grow and transform. And like Mark said, it's adding value.
Yeah. So, first of all, you got to get that under wraps. But then what it is you got to start building a team, because team is so important. Like, most people, what they say is they'll be like, like Trisha was saying, when coronavirus is finished, or like when I'm successful enough, or when I bring enough revenue in, then I'll build a team. Listen, that is why so many people work very long hours. They put a lot of time in, and still they only just get by, or they've created what they thought was going to be a business is really just a glorified job, which now you can decide what you want to put in, but then you realize if you want to make the money, you got to put all the hours in. Yeah, and then you got to take care of everything. So you've got to build a team, and you got to understand leadership, and just be that genuine person that is going to take responsibility, not just for your own results, but for the results of the team. Yeah, that honestly, I've seen in organizations, all the people that I've helped all over the world, the thousands of people I've trained, taking that responsibility is absolutely key. Yeah, because once you do that and you start building a team, then what we can start doing is like putting people in the places where they want to be. Finding good people and training good people that's what business is all about. Yeah, but for the main part of it, once you start to build some and accelerate with getting clients, telling everybody what you do, then they tell people what you've done as well. Then what you can start to do is build that team and start to expand. Yeah, because that team, I'm going to tell you, that team leverages you, leverages your ideas, so you can actually then start to work on the business. on the business. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. This is super. This insight is going to change everything. If you grasp what I'm about to just tell you right now, it's going to change everything. Because most people, they say, well, you know, I'm the business owner, so I must be the one that either runs the show, comes up with a vision, and, you know, heads up this and heads up that. Now, don't get me wrong, probably, I don't know the percentage, but probably more than half have that capability. Yeah, because they put themselves in that, they've grinded, they've gone down the entrepreneurial route for a reason. But look, they're successful people. If you can let your ego out the way, you don't have to be the person that thinks you sit on the top, because you might be very good at something specific in the business. Could be marketing, could be the delivery of the service, it could be the accounting, whatever. It could be the operational side of it, whatever it may be. It could be the logistical side, whatever it is, you could be good at that. So rather than think you need to act like the person, like the CEO type of person, you bring a CEO in. That's part of building your team. Now, all these things, they happen at different stages, and different businesses depending on what revenue you can bring in. But what people will tend to do, and I've seen this a lot, and I've been a, let's call it, I've been a victim of this before, which is like, oh yeah, I think I want to get things on the cheap. I want to get things, you know, it doesn't matter if it takes them a little bit longer because I can train them. Now, I'm all for that. Yeah, and we do that, absolutely. But you got to consider scaling your business. You need someone who in the beginning can be really flexible and adapt like you are a startup. You know, this isn't some well-oiled running machine right now. If we're talking about scaling a business, this is something that's very clunky. Things are going to have to change. You're going to have to be very fast-paced, and people are going to have their own initiative and figure stuff out themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? Why don't you, come on, throw me some comments. Throw me some comments and some questions here, because this, I'm telling you, this is the make or break of people. This is why people are not getting the income that they set out to get in the first place. This is why people feel that it takes years. Now, I'm an advocate of patience, you know, and I have to work on my patience because I am impatient. I want things done straight away, but I work on my patience. So I get that. But just because I'm patient doesn't mean that it takes forever. You know, it doesn't mean that it has to take, you know, years upon years to figure stuff out. What it actually does is getting your right players on your team, and you guys creating a culture that means that you're going to work together in the spirit of perfect harmony. I mean, cooperation is one thing. I mean, most people, they cooperate out of necessity. But if you can create that harmony, I mean, the way I see that, it's like the sea. Yeah, think of the sea. Yeah, when the sea is, you know, big waves and it's crashing, it's all beautiful and everything. That's harmony. Everything's working together. You know, if, you know, things are not working, I mean, and look how powerful the sea is. Look how powerful water is when it's all going in the same direction. Yeah, but if it's not in perfect harmony and it's splitting off, going here and all that, it loses its power. Does this make sense? It's making sense to people. Yeah, that's the harmony, and that's how you got to get your business, and this is how you scale your business. You know, as much as that we can give you in this session, it's got to be, obviously you got to market, but most people got to market. Most people get super what they call busy. Yeah, and most people are working in their business and they're not working on their business. Yeah, but then there's a confusion of, oh, if I need to work on my business, I need to be out of it. Yeah, I need to be out of it. But then to be out of it, you better make sure that when you are working on the business, that is your skill and that is what that you love doing. Because you might look like put it this way, building, construction. I have a lot of experience in that area. Some people, they try to run the business, but that's not their skill. They don't like it, and they get ahead all flustered, you know, dealing with all of that kind of stuff and where people are and managing projects and all the rest of it. They would rather be on the site organizing things at that level. Well, in that case, do that if that's what you love doing and that's what excites you. And then what you do is you bring someone else in who's going to run like a business manager or an operations manager, someone from the operational level. This like this is going to be either this is gold for you or this you're not sure what's going on. Yeah, because I've seen it many times before. We've seen it many times before where people are a little bit misunderstood around what business is. Is something funny?
It's just really funny that at the time you said, we have seen it all before, and you were gone. And then you came back when you said seen again.
Choreographing. Yeah.
Yeah, but creating an audio that people can connect to, and also a visual response. Some people are visual, some people are very technical, some people are visionary, some people need it given to them.
Do what you love. Do what it is you love. I mean, you found yourself in a place. If you are a business owner already, or you're running a business, whether it's a limited company or whether you're self-employed and you are looking to scale up and do something. I mean, I'm all into like systems. I'm all into how do we scale? How do we make this an absolute machine? How do we benefit everybody involved? We benefit.
You have to love it. Like, you have to be, even if you don't love the thing so much. Like, you could be in property, but you don't really like. You don't love property, but you love the resource that property gives you, because it's the vehicle of being financially free, etc.
Yeah, but then if you got to be in it though, Trisha, you got to.
Yeah, for sure. But like, what I mean is, like, if you're doing something, if you want to scale a business that you're in that you hate, that you just don't enjoy, you're not passionate about it, everybody else that you're trying to scale that business to will know that. They'll feel it.
Yeah, but what about, answer this then, what about if your passion is business?
Then you would not come across in a attitude that you're like, oh, this is such hard.
Because the reason I say that is because I love business, and I'll challenge anybody who feels like they've got any challenge or any problem to bring me any business that solves a problem. Yeah, all it needs to do is solve a problem, and we'll explode it. I've done this in the most hostile environments where people were not on the same page. People were not even on the same planet, let alone page. Yeah, so as long as it solves a problem, there are very simple principles around how to market and how to sell and how to increase income and how to deliver and have your team all working in harmony with everybody playing by the same rules, protecting the values, and being able to teach. And then it becomes a system of being able to teach. Like, people become teachers in your business. You teach each other. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And that's too fit.
But I think, like, what I mean when I say like passion, it's about you as an individual, and then your business. So that could be people that work for your business, or just how you are advertising it, how you're talking about it. So if you're like, yeah, I've got a blind company and the delivery. This is what I'm saying. If you're like, I've got a company that supplies blinds. I mean, we are super fast. I mean, not right now, COVID, so it's really difficult. But I want to.
Please.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you're like, so you don't have to be passionate about the product. It's not what I'm saying. You just have to be passionate about your business. So, like, I'm passionate about property, but more about what it's bringing me in my life, as opposed to wanting to be on the site and grind all the time.
Oh, things are changing now.
Yeah, because when you get to a scale point, I don't choose to use my time wisely in that area, because it costs me money, essentially. Because my time is better spent advising, helping more people to get their outcomes, which helps and then assists me in enjoying giving back, contributing, but then I'm growing even myself and my business is growing to help even more people. So there's a knock-on effect of it all. However, I still enjoy it. So I like to have my toe in still, but not fully anymore because things have changed. So also be prepared for that. You want to scale your business, but what happens when you do scale? Are you going to lose certain things?
That's a problem. And that's a problem many people fall into, which is they're like, yeah, but I love doing this, but I love doing this. And really, this, from what I've seen, is just a creative avoidance of putting the necessary process or system in place due to lack of know-how, which causes lack of self-confidence and belief that you could actually do it, which makes you want to hold on to stuff. Yeah, and that's why most businesses, especially smaller businesses trying to scale, the CEO or the MD or the owner is the chokehold of the business. It is the bottleneck of the business. Why? Because they can't let go. Why can't they let go? Because they didn't want to set the system up in the first place because of lack of know-how or lack of confidence or belief in their people.
You'll get to a point, in my experience, because I can just use my example here, of like being site, doing the furnishings, dealing with the tenants, loads and loads, which I really enjoyed to begin with. And also I was so like passionate about getting certain rents for my rooms, no voids, this, that I was trying to deal with it all myself. And it was working for quite a while. But then as my business grew to like double, then triple, then quadruple, it got to a point where I couldn't deal with it all myself. And I had to implement systems because then things were getting missed, things were delayed, and things were like missed information. So it was like, oh, this tenant moved out, we only just found out about it now. And it's like, oh my goodness, things like that, because of the lack of wanting to let go as well. So let go of the things when you evaluate what it is that your time is best spent on. So for me, it's like the certain areas that I still want to do and maintain because I do enjoy it. It's my passion and it serves my need of being like,
you know what you need to be aware of? You know what you need to be aware of in business as well, people are not aware of, is the lag time. The lag time. So what happens is, usually in the beginning or at the start of a phase of something, people will put all this work in, do this shift, build this momentum up, and then start to see a little bit of success and be like, yeah, I done it. And then what happens is they start hiding in their business. They start hiding behind, well, at least we got this last time. Yeah, or they start hiding the fact that, oh yeah, things are going out, or I'm going to deal with this. When things get a little bit tough in a certain area, they just avoid that area and move on to something else and be like, yeah, but I'm busy. Oh yeah, oh my God, I've got all this stuff I'm doing. Oh, avoid. And then what happens is, because you're not really paying attention to the priority. If you're watching this, write that word down. Because if you can ever figure out, think of this, if you could figure out what your priority is and just do that, if you could do that every moment, or even just every day, what the priority is to work towards what you actually need to do, then how much better off do you think you would be? Versus you're not doing that all the time. The priority. I mean, people don't even spend the time to figure out what the priority is. They just jump straight in and do what they feel like doing that day, especially when you're the business owner, especially when it gets a little bit tough. They just work on what it is they feel like doing. That is not going to scale. How does it scale? I have some advice.
What do you do when you're in a position where...
Let me just tell this advice and then ask the question, because I had advice. He said, don't do for one what you can't do for 100. Don't do for one what you can't do for 100. Now, don't look at the detail of that, but it's a mindset. That question gets you to shift your mindset. It's like, oh, I can just do it for this person. Oh, let me just do it for that person. And sometimes my team are saying to me, oh yeah, I'm just going to do this. And I'm like, look, there's probably no harm and you're doing this right now, you can find the time to do it. But if we act like that all the time, then we're just going to be running around like headless chickens, just doing 5 minute here, reactive, rather than say, hey, listen, let's do it and come up with something that can be repeatable time after time after time and automated where possible. So what was your question?
So like, because this might happen to a lot of people, what if you are trying to readjust and work in a different way that is then adding value to your business and yourself and making your life smoother and trying to build systems and everything, but you're in a like cocoon of firefighting because of how it's been handled to date. So it's like, yes, I want to do this, this, and this, but right now it's like, because a lot of people, I get people reach out to me all the time with this question, kind of, I have so much that it's not been dealt with that I now need to deal with. Like, what do I do in order to get that done? And then
whoever these people are, if you're watching now, or just put them in touch. That is my favorite thing to want to do.
I appreciate that, because we do help people through the real life.
I get it, and I know what you're asking. So let me answer. I know what you're asking. So let me answer that.
But that's why I was asking, because I wanted you to say it on here for the people that.
So if you're asking, let me answer. Yeah, because
you said, put them in touch, and I was like, but say it on here.
No, put them in touch anyway, because this is my favorite. My favorite. The more people think that they're in crash and burn or burnout or overwhelm or whatever the more they feel in that, the better. Why? Because the quicker I can figure that stuff out and help them. Because at the end of the day, you're asking, well, that's what you do if you want to figure it out, but what do you do if you're in this mode? Well, what you do is the same thing. You got to work on what the priority is. You got to work on the priority is. There's always going to be things that come up, and you have to work out, what is my objective here? What result is desired for the moving forward of this business, for the business to get to true power? What is that? And then what's the priority? Yeah, because saying that, things are reactive and things just come up out of the blue, that happens anyway, anytime. Like your phone rings, that come up out of the blue. I wasn't expecting that. Does that mean I have to answer it? It doesn't. It doesn't mean I have to answer it. If someone says, something, I mean, give me an example of something in the business that you think, oh no, I have to tend to this right now.
A leak.
Yeah, well, a leak. What, am I going to go fix that myself? No, the builder's going to do that. So we can put something in place. Let's put it this way. Let's say a decision has to be made on a financial product.
In fact, I have one. This is awesome. So, for example, today, what was not on my priority list that is now having to be added, I had this from morning to sort of afternoon. I had one guy that was viewing one of my properties on Saturday wants to know, can you do it for a better price than this? What do you think? Another property, half the kitchen lights don't work. There's been a leak. Apparently disconnected them a long time ago. Blah blah blah. Then another property needs an extra bin. Ordering for that one. Need to ring and deal with complaints team in Severn Trent because spoke to them and it's not going to work. So we've got to get the builders there. So 2 calls. 1 call Severn Trent on hold. 1 then call to the builder to convince them that, even though they've dug the hole 3 times already, we need to do it again, and it's a good.
So what's the question? How you deal with this?
Well, you asked me for an example. So, for example, that's just a few of probably 50 things.
But you see, what's the priority? Like, what must happen today? Because if like, obviously, you need to dig a little bit further. But if that is the case, then your priority is to put mechanism in place to be able to deal with this faster. So everything that you've just said is a delegatable action. So the number one, you see, look, everybody's running around fixing stuff. Now, if something's happened, something's happened. If you haven't got the bin today and you don't, like, tomorrow or the next day or 3 days, the priority is to have it in place. To have the mechanism in place. You see, there's no point in saying I need to make myself some healthy food, so I'm going to run around every meal to fix. No, the priority is to go to the shop to put.
I think what's good.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
To put the ingredients that you require to make healthy food in the place it needs to be, your fridge or your cupboard. Yeah, that's the priority. What are you going to do? Just work. This is what people do. They work meal by meal. They work task by task, action by action, super reactive, because everything that comes up is a big drama and the world's going to end if I don't figure this one thing out, which is absolutely not true in most of the time. Yeah, it's not most of the time. Is this a debate? Question mark. Mark, is this the truth? But make this an easier watch. I don't. If you can explain what you mean, let me know what you mean. Yeah, because you said you want the answer, right? The answer is you must work on the priority. So if you got some examples of stuff that comes up, the thing is, perception is reality. So whatever your perception of something that comes up, that's your reality. Yeah. So if you're like, no, I got to deal with this right now. This is my priority, and you make the decision, just based on, okay, that's your perception at the time, then people can get stuck in that spiral. But if you're being coached, you're being mentored, you can have someone look, because you can't see the label from inside the jar. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't see from inside. You're too close to it. So you need someone else to be able to say, well, what's the priority? Let's figure this out. Is that really a priority? I know something came up a week ago that when it first came up, it's like, oh my God, this needs to be done right now. And it's like, well, no, we don't actually need to decide to do that. We can actually go and take our time and make sure the correct mechanism is in place to be able to make an informed decision properly. Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think also some people are addicted to the drama that comes with
sure, definitely.
Things coming up like, oh. And maybe at one point that served you, having that purpose to like deal with something. But then when you get to a certain scale of your business, which is what we're talking about today, that is not the type of way to maintain that scalability. And that will just bring you right the way down. Your mindset will get destroyed. Because
here's the key though, yeah? Here's the key, right? At 8 o'clock, yeah, but we got the real life mastermind coming up, yeah? So people need time to go on to that. And I'll tell you something, this is why when we teach real life property wealth, which is a 2-day program, the next one is on the 17th and 18th of July. Yeah, I want to make this happen. I know times are, strange at the moment. I want to make this happen. Why? Because so much knowledge, so much actionable principles where people can go out there and make it happen. Yeah, actually get the results. And we've been doing it 18 months the way that we teach now, which can be done during lockdown, during quarantine. Even though it's easing up, you best be prepared for doing it if it comes back. Yeah, so a large part of that is understanding, how do you run it as a business? How do you make sure everybody's on the same team? How do you make sure that you take care of these priorities? How do you set it up to make sure everybody's playing by the same rules, protecting the same values? Because another thing is, and it just kind of made me remember when Dan is saying, is it a debate? It's a little bit difficult to watch and all the rest of it, is, look, you got to make sure that your players are on the same team, on the same page. Yeah, the players on the team, you've got to have a set of rules. I mean, we have it called a code of honor, and we have those rules that protect our values. And let's put it this way: if people are not prepared to play by those rules, you cannot be on the team. You cannot be on the team, and that is one of the most. That's like any time, really. People come to me with a business problem, to do a joint venture, something's not happening in their business, it's not progressing, they're saying, oh, the other people are not pulling their weight. It all comes back down to that principle, and the systems and the accountability and the rules that you play by, so that it means that each people on the team can be working together to ultimately communicate and help people, which is self. That's literally what it comes down to. So it's very simple. We have an awesome way of doing it. So if you want to make it to that live event, then put reallifepropertywealth.com in there. Trisha, people can do that. But if you can't wait till then, because that's next month, then what you can do is on the 25th of June. So I think this is next week, right? Yeah, we're doing an A to Z training. So the A to Z of property. So have you got the link for that? The A to Z of property. Yeah, this is advanced from the A to Z checklist. So we actually give a checklist of all the things you need to look out for, from finding a property, going all the way through the project to actually getting profit in your bank account. In fact, we made a whole TV series called Come Deal With Me, showing a load of people coming onto this process, learning these things, how to invest in property with zero of their own money. Yeah, so we're going to give you what that process is, A to Z training next week. So register, absolutely free, 2 hours of training where we'll show exactly what it is that you need. So let me see you there, people, because that's the important thing. And I'll tell you something, we are scaling the value we're going to provide to you, the value that we're going to provide to you for free, the value that we're providing already to the Real Life Tribe members. This is a community of people that actively really want to go for it. These are people really top level, you know. So Real Life Tribe members, give us a shout out, give us a comment on here for the people that are on here, because never abandon a teammate in need is the philosophy, because we will never do that. Yeah, so anybody who needs any help, anyone who needs to move forward, you reach out, you let us know. You can contact us through our website, reallife-group.com. There's numbers on there, there's email addresses on there. You can message us through any of the social media channels. You can even just comment on here and let us know what it is that you need. Or let us know what your challenge is. So we want to let everybody go so they can get refreshed and super ready for our mastermind, because the mastermind is where all the tribe come together and they can brainstorm it. They can work together in perfect harmony to get the results financially, get physically in the game, mentally in the game, emotionally feeling great, because that's manifestation. And then spiritual potential is unleashed in a huge, huge way. So if you want to figure more of that stuff out, make sure you get registered for the A to Z checklist training. I mean, it's free, and we're going to literally show you how not only we just went from nothing to over £8 million property portfolio, and we used none of our own money for the first 6.5 million, but also other people, other tribe members, 4 million in 14 months, 5 million in 2 years, another guy 5 million in 2 years, someone, you know, 20 units to over 100 units in 12 months. You know, this is about accelerating. Guys, if you want to know what it is that you need to look out for, streamline and improve your property journey and your financial status, then you need to be there. You need to register. Just go register right now. Go register. It's a week away. We're going to blow your mind with it. Go share it to many people, and let's make it happen. So any last words, Trisha?
You're all amazing. Go scale up your business.
Yeah, baby. So don't forget, do the right thing for the right reason, because that's the only way you're going to discover your true potential.